Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Today, our founder, Jack Roser, and myself have Jodi Carroll with Vote Facts. And Jodi, you were involved in the medical field. So the Obamacare healthcare bill is what kind of gave you your awakening, if you will. And during the break, Jack was talking about some things, the practical solutions versus a big healthcare bill. And would love to hear as a nurse what you think of some of these solutions and see where we can go with some of this.
Well, I've only read over a couple of them, but the healthcare discussion is kind of where I got my awakening that the media is sorely lacking in helping voters with the political education process. That was really that was my moment where this is not right. But I don't really want to get into what is right policy because for me, it's as a voter, I'm not writing policy, but I'm indirectly voting on policy. Mm-hmm. So for me, the best thing I can do as a voter is start with facts, mm-hmm. and that's where Vote Facts comes in.
What really struck you in your profession as a nurse with what you were hearing? What was the thing that you found that your experience was way different than what you were getting out of the press?
Well, it was like what I mentioned earlier when they were banting about we're number 37 in quality, when I knew that if you actually looked at that report, that's not what it said. Most people, when you say the United States healthcare system was ranked number 37 in quality, a lot of people are going to interpret that as the actual healthcare they're receiving is not good quality. And that's not what that study said. And so it's little stuff. There was some Medicare things happening. We had one side saying we should have Medicare for all. And I'm not opposed to having national discussions on things like Medicare for all or single-payer healthcare systems. I think having those discussions is very valuable. Sure. Yeah. But let's all have facts at the table while we're discussing those things. And so I watched as this, a little bit of Medicare for all is being discussed, and at the same time, the American College of Cardiology was suing Health and Human Services because their cuts were putting out of business a lot of the smaller cardiology service providers. Mm-hmm. But the media wasn't reporting that. Now, me as a consumer, that's part of the information I need to make an educated decision about Medicare for all.
Consumer is a big word you're using there, mm-hmm. and that the opinion of the consumer is absent if there's a government plan.
Well, yes, but I'll give you another example. Actually, same time.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
I think you've got an important point here.
Thank you. There was another development at that time. I think it was the Mayo Clinic. Around that same time, had decided I believe it was its Arizona location was going to stop accepting new Medicare patients. And again, I'm thinking to myself, but they're not reporting that. So if we're going to have a valid, honest discussion, I'm not afraid of that discussion. I welcome the discussion about Medicare for all. I want voters, if our voters want that, I can live with what my voters vote for as long as they're voting from a place of knowledge and facts.
Let me take you back to what really hit me between the eyeballs, and that was when I heard the president, our foolish president with Obamacare, when he said that there were so many people out there that couldn't get medical care. And that really struck me bad because I'm so old that I predate all kinds of government medical care and insurance and everything else. I mean, I survived appendectomy, a ruptured thing in 1933, well before. And I was 2 weeks in a coma. It all got paid for, and I got care. We weren't rich. My dad was a salesman. But I sat down and I wrote down 18 different ways you can get medical care mm-hmm. without the government. But just take a few obvious ones that this twit of a president we got just doesn't want mentioned. First thing you can do, of course, is private. You pay for the service you want. like buying a car and everything else.
I have an example of that I would love to share when you're done.
And I'll finish quickly. Pay for it yourself, you'll get what you want. You won't get what some damn bureaucrat says you need. The next thing is you could be private with a major medical plan, so that if a really big thing, it would be on some insurance plan that wasn't too bad. The big thing, however, that we all had was the family. I mean, if you didn't have medical care, you had a family that was going to pay a doctor or get you in there. So that's a big thing. There's another thing is all these corporations are paying for that. All kinds of people are getting at the thing. Also, there's one thing that costs you not a nickel and it's available to everybody, and it's the biggest hunk of wisdom about medical care that is available, and it's Google. If you got a sniffle or a broken leg, first thing you do before you go to the doctor, Google it. You'll get a lot of facts on it. But there's another whole bunch I could go through here, including people that don't want regular medical care. They got a perfect right to want holistic care. They don't want to monkey with these other things.
I know
That's
some
their
people like that.
preference. They're doing well with it.
It's me.
There may come a day. I'd say one other thing. About 1/3 of the hospitals are Catholic hospitals. Is that federal government? No.